Coverdale Bible, The Gospel of St. John. Summary to Chapter 6. Jesus feedeth 5,000 men with 5 barley loaves, departeth away, that they should not make him king, goeth upon the sea, and reproveth the fleshly hearers of his word. The carnal are offended at him, and forsake him. The 6th chapter. After this went Jesus over the sea unto the city Tiberias in Galilee, and much people followed him, because they saw the tokens that he did upon them which were diseased. But Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. And Easter, the feast of the Jews, was nigh. Then Jesus lifted up his eyes, and saw that there came much people unto him. And he said unto Philip, Whence shall we buy bread, that these may eat? But this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not enough among them, that every one may take a little. Then said unto him one of his disciples, Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter, There is a lad here that hath 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes, but what is that among so many? Jesus said, Make the people sit down. There was much grass in the place. Then they sat them down, about 5,000 men. Jesus took the loaves, thanked, and gave them to the disciples. The disciples gave to them that were set down. Likewise also of the fishes as much as they would. When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, Gather up the broken meat that remaineth, that nothing be lost. Then they gathered and filled 12 baskets with the broken meat that remained of the 5 barley loaves unto them which had eaten. Now when the men saw the token that Jesus did, they said, This is of a truth the prophet that should come into the world. When Jesus now perceived that they would come and take him up to make him king, he gat him away again into a mountain himself alone. At even went his disciples down to the sea, and entered into the ship, and came to the other side of the sea unto Capernaum. And it was dark already, and Jesus was not come to them. And the sea arose through a great wind. Now when they had rowed upon 25 or 30 furlongs, they saw Jesus going upon the sea, and came nigh to the ship. And they were afraid. But he said unto them, It is I, be not afraid. Then would they have received him into the ship. And immediately the ship was at the land whither they went. The next day after, the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw that there was none other ship there save that one whereinto his disciples were entered, and that Jesus went not in with his disciples into the ship, but that his disciples were gone away alone. Howbeit there came other ships from Tiberias, nigh unto the place where they had eaten the bread, after that the Lord had given thanks. Now when the people saw that Jesus was not there, neither his disciples, they took ship also, and came to Capernaum, and sought Jesus. And when they found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Master, when camest thou hither? Jesus answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me not because ye saw the tokens, but because ye ate of the loaves and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but that endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give you, for him hath God the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, What shall we do, that we may work the works of God? Jesus answered and said unto them, This is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent. Then said they unto him, What token doest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What workest thou? Our fathers ate manna in the wilderness, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then said Jesus unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For this is that bread of God, which cometh from heaven, and giveth life unto the world. Then said they unto him, Sir, give us always such bread. But Jesus said unto them, I am that bread of life. He that cometh unto me shall not hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I have said unto you, that ye have seen me, and yet ye believe not. All that my Father giveth me cometh unto me, and whoso cometh unto me, him will not I cast out. For I am come down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that hath sent me. This is the will of the Father, which hath sent me, that of all that he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. This is the will of him which hath sent me, that whosoever seeth the Son and believeth on him have everlasting life, and I shall raise him up at the last day. Then murmured the Jews thereover, that he said, I am that bread which is come down from heaven. And they said, Is not this Jesus, Joseph's son, whose father and mother we know? How saith he then, I am come down from heaven? Jesus answered and said unto them, Murmur not among yourselves. No man can come unto me, except the Father which hath sent me draw him. And I shall raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, They shall all be taught of God. Whosoever now heareth it of the Father, and learneth it, cometh unto me. Not that any man hath seen the Father, save he which is of the Father, the same hath seen the Father. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. I am that bread of life. Your fathers ate manna in the wilderness, and are dead. This is that bread which cometh from heaven, that whoso eateth thereof should not die. I am that living bread, which came down from heaven. Whoso eateth of this bread shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. Then strove the Jews among themselves, and said, How can this fellow give us his flesh to eat? Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, except ye eat the flesh of the Son of Man, and drink his blood, ye have no life in you. Whoso eateth my flesh, and drinketh my blood, hath everlasting life, and I shall raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is the very meat, and my blood is the very drink. Whoso eateth my flesh, and drinketh my blood, abideth in me, and I in him. As the living Father hath sent me, and I live for the Father's sake, even so he that eateth me shall live for my sake. This is the bread which is come from heaven, not as your fathers ate manna, and are dead. He that eateth of this bread shall live for ever. These things said he in the synagogue, when he taught at Capernaum. Many now of his disciples that heard this said, This is an hard saying. Who may abide the hearing of it? But when Jesus perceived in himself that his disciples murmured thereat, he said unto them, Doth this offend you? What and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up thither, where he was afore? It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak are spirit and are life. But there are some among you that believe not. For Jesus knew well from the beginning which they were that believed not, and who should betray him. And he said, Therefore have I said unto you, no man can come unto me, except it be given him of my Father. From that time forth many of his disciples went back, and walked no more with him. Then said Jesus unto the 12, Will ye also go away? Then answered Simon Peter, Lord, whither shall we go? Thou hast the words of everlasting life, and we have believed and known that thou art Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus answered them, Have I not chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil? But he spake of Judas, Simon Iscariot. The same betrayed him afterward, and was one of the 12.